everybody, CEO Prepper here, and today I am actually going through the Bayshore Town Center shopping center here in Milwalkee, Wisconsin. Well, actually, it's just slightly north of the greater Milwaukee area, but you get what I'm saying. Anyway, so I started walking around, and this is the inside of one of the indoor areas, but this is actually an outdoor mall. This is, let's see, I'd call it the Rotunda. Give you an idea here, just a second. This actually looks more like a town square. And so it got me thinking, what would a place like this, what purpose would it serve? Not in a SHTF or should I say an actual SHTF situation, because we know what would happen to most of your shopping malls about that time. But what would happen eventually in a post-apocalyptic environment? And so I got to thinking, and I was thinking about a show that I watched once called Jericho, and what they had did, or what the inhabitants of an area of Kansas had done to the state fair, which was turning it into a trading post. Well, then, of course, as I'm sitting here walking around this mall and kind of seeing what this place was about, I got to thinking about that. And it suddenly dawned on me, well, heck, you could use shopping centers like this in a post-apocalyptic collapse. You could actually use these shopping areas for the same purpose as a trading post. So I'm going to shoot a little bit more in here, and then I'll go outside and shoot more. So I'll probably do a voiceover of this eventually. So this is an indoor-outdoor mall. Now, a lot of these stores have both indoor and outdoor entrances. So this is actually the first time I've actually gotten to check out a mall here since I'm here in Milwaukee for the Summerfest with my buddy. And so get an idea of what's around and check it out and go from there. Oh, they got Sears here too? I didn't even know they even had Sears here. Hey, looking at the map outside, you couldn't tell there was a Sears. It's a lot bigger than I expected. Oh, this is the food court. Oh, an indoor food court. Not what I expected, but it's good. Okay, now so far I found out that this place not only has stores, it has parking garages. It actually has an apartment complex, a luxury apartment complex, in one of the other buildings. It's broken up into squares, but when I get into a outdoor map, I'll show you what I'm talking about. But I'll look at the South Store directory. Alright, so I'll be right back. Okay, now I'm outside. I just came out of this particular structure, and now I'm starting to make my way around the plaza. And see what they got. Here's my thoughts on the future of outdoor shopping centers like this and a post-apocalyptic. And what I mean by that is, I mean years, maybe even, I'll say at least 24 months after an apocalyptic situation, any of these that are left standing. Obviously, the companies that inhabit these spaces now more than likely be gone, but after all the stores are looted, or here's the map, by the way, of the Bayshore district. But after all the stores are looted, I think that this will more than likely become a shopping, or I'll say a shopping district once again. I think it will be more of a let's say maybe a bazaar, maybe a place. We'll just say it's a market. So a market, a bazaar. But yeah, I think it will take on that same life again in a post-apocalyptic world, but more of the secure kind. Especially if there's like a home improvement store or someplace with high security fencing or whatever. I think the people in a post-apocalyptic world will actually use fixtures and items from those areas to secure the perimeter of such places. Now here we got, parking garage, and actually this is the building where the apartments are. I was going to try and get a tour, but a lot, especially if you have a total grid down, for instance, a lot of electronic stores like the Apple store here won't be much use, but I think a lot of the clothing stores will take on that life again, for people who have scavenged goods that they're trying to sell or trade or barter. I think bookstores will also take on the life of not just maybe a library, also maybe a bookstore again, since it's already set up for that. It'll probably also take on the life of I'll say it'll probably take on the life of a information exchange from different regions, areas, so people can keep in contact. And I wouldn't be shocked if some of these other places, like especially shops, would take on lives as either clothing or shoes or some other item that people would want to buy and trade. I think the restaurants will more than likely take on that life again. Probably not to the degree that they are. Maybe not. Depends on what the cause of the post. So yeah, I think places like Barnes and Nobles, if they're a bookstore now, I think there'll be a bookstore, library, or information trading center in a post-apocalyptic world environment. And the reason I say I think a lot of these places will take on a different version of what they are now is because these are already set up for certain trades. You know, they're set up for the sales trade or the restaurant trade. And people in a post-apocalyptic environment will go and do what they know how to do. History has shown that. And so it's easy for, which place did I step into?
They called me.
Okay, I don't know which place I just stepped into, but I didn't see a sign outside, so maybe I'll just take a peek at something. Never mind, it doesn't say much. I'm gonna call this the no-name store. Alright, so let me get out of here. I'll put this on pause. Oh, I stepped into H&M. Obviously, I don't shop in that store. But okay, back to my thought from earlier. So I think places like this will more than likely turn into a post-apocalyptic version of what they are today, except with a lot more security in place. I think, especially if there's like a hardware store or a place that has high security fencing, anybody with some ingenuity will reinforce these kind of places. So you may actually see shops that, will still, instead of Justice selling the tween clothes that they sell now, they could be, the storefront could say Justice, but it may be selling post-apocalyptic firearms or weapons of some kind. Barnes and Nobles could be, again, a bookstore, or it could be a library or some kind of other information gathering place. Some stores that do outdoorsy camping stuff may have that same kind of equipment, and instead of charging outrageous prices for a lot of the stuff that they sell, they actually may just do a lot of trading and bartering. So this is just my thoughts on this, and of course what I could see possibly becoming the fate of one or many or maybe even all of these outdoor shopping centers, and maybe even some classic malls could also have the same effect. I doubt it for the classic indoor malls, but I could definitely see it for the outdoor malls, where they could become trading posts in a post-collapse future. So I'll probably go over this again and do a voiceover. So but just in case I don't, remember to like, comment, subscribe. Leave your comments at the bottom, please. I greatly appreciate all comments, except for the trolls. These videos are for education purposes. I hope that my subscribers, and I thank you all who have subscribed to my channel at this point, and I wish you the best in your preparedness and in your preparedness endeavors, and hopefully we'll never have to use these measures on the doomsday end, or think about, or actually have to live out these thoughts of the post-apocalyptic world. But it's never a question of if, it's a question of when, because disasters are normal just like every day. So take care of yourself, take care of each other, and now you have the survivor's edge.